Welcome back, everybody. The Austin African American, 3A's Book Festival is back again for its 19th year this Saturday at the Carver Museum. Dr. Rosalind Oliphant, founder and director of the festival, is joining us, along with featured author and futurist. That's a real job, everybody. Mimi Stiles. We're fascinated to hear more about that. So y'all, good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you both here. Dr. Roz, we're starting with you. Talk to us about what we can expect at the fest. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. The 19th Austin African American Book Festival is happening this Saturday, June 28th at the Carver Library and Museum. Things start at 10 a.m. and we go to 4, and we have activities for kids in our kids zone, which is happening in the library. And then in the museum, we have author signings, book discussions, opportunities for authors to network with one another. So it's going to be a great time, and we're inviting everyone to come out.
Sounds lovely to me. Okay, I do want to ask Mimi, because you are going to be featured at the festival. I want to ask a little bit about your work first and foremost, if I can, and what a futurist actually is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, most people might know me as the president and founder of an organization called Measure. We're data activists. We're people that really just believe in the power of storytelling and data. And so as a futurist, I get to live in both the past and also in the future. I consider myself a time traveler.
Whoa, this is fascinating. So are we talking about the future as in climate, people, that sort of thing, or are we talking about like general feelings about what the world might act like? I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting it grasped.
There's so many intersections there.
Yeah, there
but
are.
You're definitely on the right track.
Okay, thank you.
It's really about, legacy work. Like, what is the work that I am doing today that matters to my great-great-granddaughter who's actually featured on my book.
Oh my gosh. Okay, exciting. Well then, yes, let's talk about your book, girlfriend.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's called The House the 90s Built.
The House the 90s Built. The 90s was just such an incredible era. It was also a time where, we were navigating so much without the language. So we didn't have words to express, mental illness or mental health, right?
So true.
And so this is a magical, Afrofuturistic magical memoir that I time travel back to the 90s to experience my home again, and also experience my sibling to, also experience mental illness. But instead, I have the language and I have the names to know exactly what it is, and I flip the script in order to see it as their superpower.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. So this is truly based on your own personal history, but a revisionist style of it, making it a strength instead of something that maybe you struggled with.
Absolutely. It is definitely a reconciliation with the past and with the backdrop of the 90s, when it was hip hop culture and it was fun and it was before all the technology boom. So that's really what this story is all about.
When you still heard the burner, when you tried to go on to AOL, that sort of thing. Who would be a great audience for your book?
Oh gosh, the audience has varied. It is folks that have grown up also in the 90s, but it's also people that are just nostalgic about how we grew up in the 90s, pre internet and pre cell phones at every single moment. And so my daughter is 25 years old and she is in love with this book. But then also my mentor is over the age of 70 and she is also a huge fan.
Well, and you're telling me that you're talking to your great granddaughter, who I'm sure does not exist yet. You are much too young. But is this kind of a writing to the children of the future then?
It absolutely is. I'm also a technologist. I do a lot of work. I'm the vice president of responsible and ethical artificial intelligence for Austin AI Alliance. And so I think a lot about the future, right? I think about data, I think about the future. So does she really exist? Is she, in a future alternate space?
Wow, you brought us a big dog today.
Yes.
Dr. Roz, I'm impressed. And she's part of the Indie Author Showcase.
Yes.
So can you tell me more about that?
So the Indie Author Showcase is a platform that we've established with the Austin African American Book Festival to showcase authors like Mimi who are just starting out, who have independently published their work. We've created this platform where they can sell their work and they can be a part of the showcase where they can talk about their work, pitch their work. And an added bonus is we've also created this space where new and emerging authors can connect with nationally recognized authors.
That's huge.
We have Walter Mosley and Marita Golden and Paul Coates with Black Classic Press, all literary luminaries who will be there and who can connect with up-and-coming authors and share wisdom.
Bring business cards.
Yes.
You want
yes.
these people to remember your name.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that is really cool. And you've been talking about like the space, the setup for a moment. So I do want to ask about the Carver Museum and why you feel it's such an appropriate setting for this celebration.
Well, I've been a bookseller in this community for 30 years.
You started at a kiosk, right?
Yes,
mean,
I started
it's
at a
huge.
kiosk, and when I started at the kiosk in Highland Mall, which is now ACC, when I started at the kiosk, the Carver Museum and library were places where I held events. So I've had a long-standing relationship with the Carver complex. And even with the bookstore and every festival that we have had, from the very first festival, has been at the Carver Museum and Carver Library. So it's a near and dear space for us and for the community.
Absolutely. It's wonderful. And I do want to talk about the theme of this year's event because you say without a theme, we've got too much to cover.
Yes,
Quite
yes,
frankly, we've got so
absolutely.
much going on. So this year's theme is Our Stories, Our Voices. I'm going to come to you first, Mimi. What does that mean to you when you hear that theme?
It means that our stories matter. You know, it means that we have the opportunity to really share what's deep within us, to put it on paper, to document it, and then, you know, to share it with the world. For me, this book really wasn't for everyone at first, but I realized that my story is actually a lot of other people's story as well. So this really, for me, gives me an opportunity and a platform that I could not have ever imagined.
And self-published work.
Yeah,
Good for you, girl.
absolutely.
Especially having a full-time job on top of that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine when you slept, but good on you for getting this book out into the world because now hopefully a lot of people will get to experience it. And so I'm going to come to you, Dr. Rouse, because I'm guessing you're the one who chose this theme. Our
yes,
stories,
yes.
our voices. What does it mean to you?
So when we think about our stories, our voices, we are looking at memory, the memory that our voices hold in terms of our history and our heritage. We're looking at power. Our voices are powerful, resistant. Our voices have strength. And then we're looking at the purpose, because that shows the intentionality of our voices, the vision of our voices. And throughout the festival, this theme is woven throughout the festival from the very beginning with the Indie Author Showcase, listening to these new and emerging voices. Also, then we have a lecture by Dr. Pernell Joseph, his first book, Freedom Season, What Can 1963 Teach Us? And then Walter Mosley in conversation with Paul Coates. We also have a conversation with Marita Golden about the power of Black voices. And then we close out the day with an awesome panel discussion, Organizing for Truth and Justice, where all the things we've talked about all day, how do we take that and put it into action? We're not just there to hear, this is about activism as well. And what can we do? How can we make a difference? How can we continue to use our voices and our stories to make a difference?
Turning it into kinetic energy. Let's
Yes,
go.
yes.
All right. Such a cool event. Thank you both so much for sharing. And Mimi, congratulations on your new
Yes,
book.
yes,
A published
absolutely.
author, everyone. Guys, this event is free. The best price on the planet. You can find the full schedule and learn more. Just go to aabookfest.org.